Proverbs 29 and 18. Can you get it? Say I got it. The word says, where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. For where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. When God gives you a vision, he's not requiring that you understand it at the time. Because most of the time when God gives you a vision, you really can't understand it. You can't understand it for a number of reasons. One, you can't understand why in the world he chose you in the first place. Because you feel like you're so unworthy and you're so unqualified for it. The other thing that you typically feel is that you don't have the resources to make this thing happen in the first place. If God has given you a vision, yourself being in television or owning a business, you're looking at your past and you're trying to look at your past and see how can my past measure up to what he showed me. And it really comes up less than. Am I making sense? Because you're looking at like, I never was good in math anyway. And you want me to own a business? Look, I'm the shyest person in my whole family. And you're showing me a vision, myself being in television. Typically, God's vision that he shows you is almost like the exact opposite of who you are at the time when he showed it to you. Am I making any sense? And there's a reason for that. Because when God gives you a vision, it's not the vision that he's trying to get you to see clearly. It's really you. He's trying to show you that the person that you are now is not the person that he intends for you to become. But the biggest problem that most folk have to making their dream become a reality is that they're trying to stay who they are now and walk in what God showed them that they would have. And that is one of the biggest problems. I don't know if it's this, we got this thing about we want to keep it real or whatever. So I don't want to change. There's a lot of things that play into that. We don't want the folk around us to think that we're acting funny. But I'm here to tell you, you can't have what God showed you by being exactly who you are right now. Because the whole point of him showing you the vision was incentive for you to leave where you are now to keep moving to where he's trying to bring you into. When the people don't have a vision, they perish. But what I'm seeing from studying God's word and studying people more, I'm starting to see that everyone has a vision of some kind. They may not have God's vision, but they have a vision of some kind. But most folk have this vision of a thing failing. They see it failing more than they see it succeeding. So it's not that you don't have a vision, it's just that you have a horrible vision. You have a horrible vision of things falling apart because most of us have more faith in something dying than we have faith in it living. Amen. See, now it's supposed to be a challenge if you're in a bad situation and God is trying to get you to see a better one. He's just simply trying to get you to change your viewpoint. Because right now your viewpoint is only focused on those things that are going wrong in your relationships or in your job or in your life. You're just only focused. Your vision is only focused on what's wrong. But if you could start to turn your head to start focusing on what is right with this thing, then not only would you feel better, but the vision that God has for you will get clearer. I've started to realize y'all got wandering eyes. You're trying to keep one eye on God, and you're trying to keep one eye on everybody else, and I don't know how you see anything. So some of you all are just simply confused because you're trying to see too much. If I am focused on what God has given me, I can't see what you're doing. I cannot see what you're doing because I'm so consumed in what he has given me. When God gives a vision, that is not a dream to God. That is reality to him. The reason that it is not reality to you is because you have not become the person that reality is created for. You got to realize God does not exist. He's not bound by time. God is in yesterday, he's in today, and he's in tomorrow. So when he said, I know the thoughts that I think towards you, thoughts of peace, not of harm, to give you a hope and a future, that means that he is looking for that to be your life. But the only thing that is stopping that from being your life is that you have not become the person to fit that vision. Israel spent 40 years in the wilderness going to Canaan, not because it was a 40-year journey to get to Canaan. It took them 40 years to change who they were as a people. before they can enter into the promised land. You can't keep it ghetto cafe and expect to work in the White House with the same type of mentality that you got. You understand what I'm saying? You can't be up in there with dignitaries and stuff like this and say, pass the script. You can't say no stuff like this. You got to change how you talk, how you communicate, and whether you saying you ain't keeping it real or not. I said learn how to pronounce words like you should. Well, however you do it, you're gonna have to make a change if you want a situation to be a change. Am I making any sense with you? You understand what I'm saying? You can't say I want a godly man, and you coming up here acting like a woman that don't even know who God is. You understand what I'm saying? You can't expect for that situation to keep working. You can't expect to say, well, look, I want a godly woman, and think you're gonna be able to run the streets and talk to her like you talk to, like folk talk to folk in the streets. You understand what I'm saying? There's gonna have to be some changes in how you do, how you behave, and how you think if you want to receive the things of God. But some of us think, well, we just gonna get by off talent and good looks, but do nothing to change our character. And some of the problem with us is that we think of ourselves too small.